Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Is she talking?
All right, we're getting ready to get started. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. James Walker. Welcome. All right. Looks like you can hear me. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
All right. Super, super, super. All right. Well, we're fixing to get started. Fantastic. Glad to have everybody here to our Time to Tell the Truth series. We've been doing this for a number of weeks now, and it's been a blessing to me and hopefully to others. But we got a special topic we're going to deal with today. Let's get started. All right. So again, it's time to tell the truth. And some of you can go back a ways. I always tell my age when we're talking about this TV show, To Tell the Truth. Anybody remember that TV show? And they stood up, and only the one that was telling the truth and nothing but the truth was the one that stayed standing up. And that's what our objective is here, to just give us some truths that sometimes we're not aware of because we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? And even if we know certain things, we might have heard it, but just when it hits us in our face, that's the thing. I want to hit you in your face with some things. Now, for those of you that may not know who I am, my name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belk, affectionately called Dr. Roz, and I am the CEO of Dream to Life Productions Ministry, LLC, and a nonprofit that we're just taking off this year. I am a musician, a bunch of other stuff, but today my focus is on being a certified wellness coach. Yes, I've got some credentials, a certificate of completion from Akana as a entrepreneur and lifestyle consultant, as well as from Dr. Eric Prince, naturopathic doctor, as a certified wellness coach. And I'm very, very proud of those things. So let's get going with today's topic. Why we don't think before we eat. Yeah, yeah. I am accusing you of not thinking before you eat. So I'm not even asking you, do you do it sometimes? Because every one of us sometimes just eats and not thinking about it. So I want you to think about it as we do this today.
Why does junk food taste so damn good? There's a couple of reasons, and they both have to do with our brains and how they think. Reason number one is convenience. Most of the time in our busy lives, we often don't have the time or the energy to create a healthy meal. So we often go for whatever's cheapest and easiest, regardless of the nutrition. Plus, if you've eaten it before and it tasted good, what could possibly be the harm of eating it again? Number two is the ingredients. Compared to your average fruits and vegetables, junk foods are extremely high in MSG, sodium, and saturated fats, all of which makes our brain extremely happy. They're often specifically designed to be this way as well, which is why it can be so hard to stop eating them. However, eating too much of these ultra-processed foods can cause serious long-term health problems, like diabetes or high blood pressure. So just make sure to always think before you eat. And remember, moderation is key.
That's key. Moderation is key. See, it's not all about just stopping everything, okay? Now, if you probably were to talk to my coach, Dr. Prince, he would tell you just you need to stop this, you need to stop that, and most people will go that route. But I'm of the mindset that we got to start somewhere. So my challenge for you is to
Why
start.
does junk
So we often don't think before we eat because, see, eating is deeply tied to certain things like our habits, our emotions, our environment, and our biology, not just rational thought. So let's talk about these things. Let's talk about some of these reasons why we don't think before we eat. Habit, routine. A lot of us, we eat at certain times. I was raised in a home that we ate at a certain time in the afternoon. When my father got off work, we sat around the table. Now, most families don't hardly do that anymore. But we eat at a certain time or in a certain situation automatically. Like, for instance, when you go to the movies, what do you eat? I mean, it's just kind of automatic, right? It's automatic because you went to the movies, you're supposed to get some popcorn. But it's not good for us, especially with all the butter on top, okay? But it's an automatic reaction. And so it's a habit. And those habits form neural shortcuts, making us act without even consciously deciding. I mean, you're not even thinking about it. You walk in the movie theater, and the first thing you do is you pay for your ticket or you give them your online ticket. And what's the first thing you see? The concession stand. So it's all about getting something from that concession stand. You're going to get some soda or a drink or an icy or your popcorn. And nowadays, we've got theaters here in Texas where you can have a whole meal when you sit down and watch the movies. But rarely do you see anybody in the theater not eating something. Now, so there are times when you try to go get your meal before you get there or something. And back in the day when I was coming up, we used to buy the big old thing of popcorn. There'd be 4 or 5 of us, and everybody get their napkin. And I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell y'all that. And we would share that big old tub of popcorn because you could get what? Refills. We didn't think about, is it good for us? Is it healthy for us? No, it was an automatic reaction. And so I'm going to ask you a question. When do you eat unhealthy? There are certain times that you just automatically do it, like late at night. The later it gets, the more you want to snack while you're eating. You're watching TV, you're scrolling on your phone. And typically, the foods that we eat late at night is not an apple, it's not a pear, it's not some vegetables, it's some chips and some ice cream and some cookies or some fast food. And it happens because the fatigue lowers your willpower. So late night cravings kick in because sometimes it's due to boredom or stress. And so they're triggers. And I want you today to be aware of those triggers. Triggers, boredom, screen time, low energy, the commercials rolling on the television. So here's what I want you to do. Set a closing time for your kitchen. Yeah, you heard me right. It's not open. The kitchen is closed. I came out of a household back in the day. There was a time when the kitchen was closed because if you went in that kitchen, you had to clean that dish. So you got to replace those habits. Replace them instead of having chips or ice cream. How about an herbal tea? How about maybe chewing some gum? Or maybe just go brush your teeth. And guess what? You'll be surprised how the craving might not even be there. But set a cutoff time for your screens, even to reduce those mindless snacking cues. Number 2, what you can do when you want to eat unhealthy is a lot of times you do it when you're during emotional stress. Emotional stress. Sometimes we just overeat, we eat unhealthy when we're feeling anxious, when we're sad, when we're angry, or when we're just overwhelmed. And usually, again, it's not something healthy, it's comfort foods. And comfort foods are usually high in sugar, high in fat, and high in carbs. And we do it because emotional eating is a coping mechanism. So instead of using food as comfort, because that's the trigger, we need to be comforted. We need a hug, and we're using food to get that hug. We want to create a self-care menu with non-food activities, like pick up your notebook and start journaling, take a walk, call a friend. Yeah, pause. Stop for a minute. Just pause before you're eating and ask yourself, am I physically hungry or am I emotionally upset? Because then if I'm not really physically hungry and I'm doing this because I'm emotionally upset, there's another solution. So you can practice some stress relief techniques like breathing exercises or even stretching. Another time that we do things when we're eating unhealthy is because of social gatherings. oftentimes we're part of a community that we're doing detoxing. We'll do a 4-day detox or a 7-day detox or a 21-day detox. And one of the things I always tell people is don't plan the detox if you know there's a wedding coming up, you're going on a cruise. Why? Because we know we're not going to stick to it if there's a social gathering, if there's going to be a party, a game night, if there's going to be a barbecue. My husband told me about 3 detoxes ago, can we do the detox so that it doesn't fall on Juneteenth? Because what? We know we want to have some barbecue during Juneteenth. So we're not trying to do it then. But that's what social gatherings do. They cause us to eat unhealthy. It's just a natural thing. You're going to eat what's there. You go into a banquet, you're not trying to ask them for something special. But it's a natural thing that takes place in our lives. It's a natural trigger. Finger foods, the desserts, the alcohol. And it happens usually because we don't want anybody else saying anything. You know, the peer pressure. You're the only one eating the salad. You're the only one, you know, people look at you. What are you doing? Oh, okay, you can't eat my food going to your mama's house. You get all criticized and everything. And because we have a celebration mindset, although it's not healthy for us. See, we do things automatically that are not healthy for us just because. And sometimes it's what's available. So it's that trigger, that peer pressure trigger, that availability trigger. But there are some solutions. Eat a healthy snack before so that you won't be even hungry when you get there. You can tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I ate before I came. Fill your plate one time, then get away from the snack table. Keep a drink in your hand, some water, seltzer, to avoid you from having absent-minded eating. Another reason we eat unhealthy is while working or studying. You're sitting at your desk, you're in a meeting, and they got those snacks. They got those snacks on the table. As soon as you get into these conferences, they got little bitty candies, the little mini candies. They got the mints that you suck on. They got peanuts. They got all kind of stuff. Then you got vending machine snacks. You got coffee, and listen, plenty of sugar, energy drinks, all the quick meals. And so it's mindless eating. It's mindless eating because you're stressed out, you're multitasking, and you're dealing with time pressure. So it's a trigger. So what's the trigger? The distraction and the stress. And so what we want to do is schedule real snacks, real lunch breaks away from the screen. Keep only healthy snacks within your reach. Don't have anything near you that you can just reach and grab that you know is unhealthy. And then use smaller bowls or pre-portioned snacks to avoid overeating. So just think about, when is it that you eat unhealthy? When you're in a rush? Yeah. Oh man, we just grab something. We don't care what it is. We're not even thinking about what it is. So we find ourselves doing the wrong things at the wrong time because you're in a hurry. You're in a hurry. So you skip breakfast, or you grab food that's on the go, or you do fast food, pastries. Oh my God. That's how they've made money in the donuts. They've made so much money with donuts and twisters and twisties and all this kind of stuff. And those, oh my goodness, the sugary coffee drinks, because it's quick. Convenience trumps nutrition when you're in a hurry. You're not thinking about doing what's healthy, right? So it's about time pressure. So here's what we can do. Some tips that we can follow are prep, grab and go meals. Carry them with you. Snacks in advance. Make your own overnight oats in your trail mix. Keep healthy options in your car. I'm telling you, sometimes I get in the car and the car just wants to go in the wrong directions, right? So if you had those healthy snacks, then you wouldn't stop there. I told y'all that's what I used to do. My car used to just drive to McDonald's on its own just to get the fries. I'm so grateful I haven't been there probably in over a year now. I'm proud of myself. You may not think that's a long time, but I'm patting myself on the back because that's pretty doggone good, right? When you're a person that could go there every single day. So keep those healthy options in your car or in your bag, and then use a slow cooker or a meal delivery service if cooking is tight on time. Number 6, When else do you eat unhealthy? During celebrations and holidays. We kind of touched on that. But every time there's a birthday, a holiday, the festivities start. We associate holidays, Thanksgiving, we associate it with certain kinds of food. We associate Christmas. We associate Valentine's Day. They're going to take us out and feed us certain kinds of food. We're not thinking about eating healthy. It's just I want you to understand why we don't think when we eat. Because we associate certain things with certain kinds of foods that are actually, over all the years that we eat, they're killing us. Cakes and sweets and rich meals and alcohol. Why is it? Because it's tradition. It's indulgence. And we say to ourselves, it's just this once. But it's this once every year. It's this once at this time that you overdo it every single time. How many birthdays are in your family in 1 year? Festivity mindset, guys. So what we got to do is focus on the people, not just the food. We focus on the person whose birthday it is. We focus on the Christmas season. The reason for the season is not the food, okay? And so then we can just not focus on the food and socialize away from the food table. Decide ahead of time. Before you get there, you decide what you're going to do, which treats are worth you skipping. And then we practice taste. Don't gorge. Even just eat a few bites mindfully, just a few bites, because you'll realize you'll actually get full a whole lot faster. That's why they say in other countries, we just do everything too fast because we eat fast and we should slow down and chew it. Even if it's something that you shouldn't have, if you ate it slower, I promise you, you won't eat as much of it. Another time that we eat unhealthy, because we're talking about the habits right now that we have, is when you're grocery shopping while you're hungry. That's the worst thing in the world you can do, is to go to that grocery store while you're hungry. You go in there to get one or two things and you look at your basket. Oh my God, how did I leave out of here? I'm spending $100 and I was just supposed to spend $20. Because you're hungry while you're in the grocery store and you're shopping with an empty stomach. So they're impulse purchases that you make. And they know, they know how we do it. That's why they put it in that aisle and put it out there in the front to attract your attention. That's why they put it to while you're walking through the counter to get to the cash register. Everything is right there as an impulse for junk food and sweets. Never an apple, never a carrot, none of that, right? And so hunger drives impulse decisions for quick energy. So the habit or the trigger is hunger driving impulse buying. But what can we do? We can always eat a small snack before you get in that store shopping. Shop with a list and stick to it. Shop the perimeter, the outside of the store. That's where the produce is, the dairy and the meats, and avoid all the processed aisles. Have you noticed where they are? They're in the middle of the store. When you walk in the door, that's what you hit first. As soon as you pass the cash registers as soon as you walk in a lot of stores, you hit those aisles first. But you want to go to the outskirts first, right? And then we eat unhealthy when we're watching movies, when we're watching television, movie night, at home or in the theater. As I said earlier, it's the popcorn, the candy, the soda, the chips. It's automatic. We don't even think about it. This is called why we don't think when we eat. We don't think about it. It's habitual association between the entertainment and the snacking. So what can we do? Pre-portioned snacks. If you got a snack, take portions out of the snack. It says never eat snacks straight from the bag, because guess what? You're going to empty the bag. That's why they say no one can eat just one, because they know. They have put the ingredients, guys. Do you understand? They put the ingredients in the snack to make sure you eat all of the snack. Have you ever looked at the back of it and read the portion size? The portion size says 6 crackers or 10 chips. So the whole bag is about 10 times 10. Okay. So you say, oh, this is low in fat, this is low in calories, but you ate the whole bag. So keep your hands busy knitting or a fidget toy or drink water instead. And then try low calorie, crunchy alternatives because sometimes it's just that desire for something crunchy, right? So air pop popcorn or veggies. And then number 9, when we eat unhealthy is after working out. I mean, that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? You're working out and then you eat unhealthy. I've seen people, they go in there and they go into a salad place and they fill that whole thing up with salad, but then they load it with unhealthy dressing. That's a paradox. So it's post-exercise. That's the situation. And typically, sometimes we overeat or reward ourselves because we worked out. We got our sweat on, right? And so we feel justified. We feel justified to indulge or misjudging that calorie burn. We overestimate calorie burn. That because you just stopped the burn. In the middle of the burn, you just stopped it with the unhealthy foods. So plan a post-workout meal. Excuse me, snack in advance, a protein plus fiber. Hydrate. Water will fill you up. Okay, some of you are working out and you're not drinking a bit of water. Thirst is often mistaken for hunger. Sometimes you're not really hungry, but you're thirsty. And you can tell because you can drink some water and that hunger will go away. So focus on recovery nutrition, not indulgence. For example, a smoothie, banana plus nut butter, things like that. There's always a way to have some nutritious things after a workout. And then 10, traveling. Oh my God. Whenever you're doing, especially road trips, not only road trips, but as soon as you get in the airport, you're waiting there to get onto the plane. They've got things lined up along the way. Nothing is healthy. And so we automatically don't even think about it because it's a road trip. We're in the airport, we're at the hotel. So we're going to go by the gas station and get the snacks, the fast food places. Everything's got to be easy because we're traveling, right? And then you're in the airport, it's going to be all processed meals. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Are you getting this? So we got limited options and we want it to be convenient and we don't want to disrupt our routines. So these are the times. I need you to be aware of what's going on. So you can pack your own healthy snacks, your own nuts, your own bars, your own fruit, research your food options ahead of time, and then stick to the regular eating times as much as possible to avoid binging later. Now, so why is it that we don't think when we eat? We just talked about habits. Also, another reason why we don't think about things, we don't think about what we eat, and we just do it is because of emotional eating. We're so used to food to cope with our stress and our boredom and our sadness and our celebrations. One of the worst places in the world, and y'all know I'm a minister, right? But one of the worst places in the world is the body of Christ. It's the church. Yeah, the worst food is in the church. I'm just saying, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. It's the truth. We have a repast. Somebody has passed away. And what's food in the repast? It's all the food that we shouldn't have. There's a wedding. It's all the food that we shouldn't have. And in those moments, emotion overrides thinking, deliberate thinking.
Emotional eating often starts when we confuse physical hunger with emotional need. By slowing down and asking yourself, am I really hungry? Or is something else going on? You can break that cycle. Even if you still choose to eat, you're doing so with awareness, which helps reduce the power of stress or frustration as triggers.
How can I stop emotionally eating in the moment? Remember, stop. S is space. Put physical space between you and the food. T is time. Set a timer for 2 minutes or 5 minutes to delay the gratification and allow you to do the next 2 steps. O is observe. Think about what you're thinking about. What thoughts are leading to the emotions driving you to want to eat? And then how can you deal with those emotions in a way that doesn't involve food? P is plan. My personal favorite things to do instead of emotionally eat are chew a piece of gum, brush my teeth, go for a walk, or have a cup of hot tea or a sparkling water.
Here are 3 steps to help you stop emotional eating. Number 1, anytime you feel yourself getting stressed or anxious or worried or tired, just stop, and before you do anything, take 3 deep breaths. Step number 2, recognize the craving in a different way. So instead of saying, I want to eat cake, change that to, I am aware of the thought about wanting to eat cake. It's not that you want to eat cake, you are just aware of the thought about eating cake. So you're kind of separating your thoughts from yourself. And I know that we're getting a little metaphysical here, but this kind of exercise can really help. And step number 3, create different habits. So let's say every time you feel stressed, you want to go eat cookies. So instead of eating cookies, choose a new habit or a new action, like meditating or walking out in nature or deep breathing. Every time you make a decision to choose that new habit over the old habit, you start to rewire your brain, and that's how new habits form.
Wow. So I believe we should try some of this, guy. We should try everything that we're hearing. So why do we not think when we eat? Environmental triggers. Environmental triggers, the sight, the smell, the availability, the social cues, they drive us to eat, even when we're really not hungry. Just seeing food can activate cravings and reduce conscious control. Do you hear what I just said? You are not consciously in control.
Children see about 6,000 ads for unhealthy food products a year. Some children are really prone to respond to food advertisements. And those children have very high reward activity in brain regions in response to food ads. So when you have a third of children who are overweight or obese, is it really ethical to market unhealthy foods to them? We often think that we're making decisions on the products we use and how we use them. And we at the Koop Institute want to highlight the role that corporations play in influencing those choices. Every term, I have many undergrads in my lab. Some of my favorite experiences are seeing the undergrads come as first-year students and grow until they're able to do their own independent research as seniors.
I was in a conference just this past week, and one of the things they said in the conference is that we don't have control over our thoughts. And some people answered the question. The question was asked, do you have control over your thoughts? And people said, yes, yes, yes. But after he explained himself, we found out we really don't have control over our thoughts. We have control over what we want our thoughts to be. You can stay here today and you can say, tomorrow I want to think about this and such. But anything can happen. Anything can distract. Some event, some phone call can take place, and all of a sudden, that thought that you were going to do or going to have is completely disappearing because we don't control them. We only control what we do right now. See, anything can happen.
What's really keeping kids from wanting to eat healthy? From athletes pushing fast food to fundraisers that leave kids peddling sugar, Gold Stars have been replaced with sneaky ad campaigns. And don't even get us started on those Lion sports drinks. Each year, companies spend millions on food marketing to children in schools. But it doesn't end there.
What?
For the sake of their hearts, keep junk food marketing out of school and out of mind.
See, you guys, the average kid today, the average teenager, doesn't eat a fruit or a vegetable, especially a vegetable, unless it's on a hamburger and they get some lettuce and tomatoes. Because the normal diet is want pizza and chicken strips with ranch dressing. So we've got to recognize the publicity. What we see is what we want. And they capitalize on that. Industry-wide advertising. The total U.S. food advertising spend in 2022, not even in 2025 where we are now, was $5.7 billion. And that was covering categories like snacks and breakfast foods and subscription boxes. The average, the U.S. food, beverage, and restaurant advertising spending, $14 billion, with over 80% of that promoting fast food, sugary drinks, candy, and unhealthy snacks. So what are these figures telling us? They're highlighting the significant investments that major food and beverage companies make in advertising. We think we're making our own choices. No, we're not. They put it on the screen. They put it in front of us to the point where we go and get it just because of what we saw. These are some top brand companies that spend billions of dollars on advertising. When's the last time you looked at television and saw a Domino's and McDonald's commercial? You don't have to think about it. Probably almost every time you turn on the television. Sonic, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Pizza, Dairy Queen, Papa John's, all of these. Do you see how many digits that they're spending? Billions. That's not millions. That's billions of dollars on advertising. Because they know if we see it on the screen, if they put it in our face. How much does your favorite fast food brand spend on ads? See, that's a lot of money. And there's a reason they spend that money, because they know if they put it in our face, your kid, your daughter, your son, even you, is going to say, can we go to McDonald's? Or they've shown us that special and we're going to make sure that we drive by that place, right? Another reason why we don't think when we eat is biological urges. There are hormones inside of us that create a sense of urgency to eat. And when the blood sugar drops, the brain prioritizes getting calories quick. I need it right now. You don't even know why you want it right now. You don't even know why you want the ice cream right now. There's the blood sugars drop, and the brain says, I gotta have it. See, the brain is a fabulous thing. That's why scripture says, as a man thinketh, where do we think? Thinketh in his heart, so is he. We are what we think. They used to tell you, you are what you eat. But don't realize, and I'm hoping that this will help you to realize that there are things in the brain that are going to making you want to make those decisions. Different parts of the brain influence our eating behavior, especially why we often choose unhealthy foods. The prefrontal cortex. Yeah, it has the role of decision-making, self-control, long-term planning. Why does that matter? Because it helps you resist temptation, but it can be overridden when you're tired, when you're stressed, or when you're distracted. The prefrontal cortex of your brain. The hypothalamus. The role of it is to regulate hunger and fullness. But why does that matter? Because it responds to body signals like that hormone, ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, and leptin, which is the fullness hormone. If these signals are out of balance, you overeat. And your mama, okay, I won't play the dozen. I ain't talking about your mama, but my mama told me, eat all that's on your plate. She didn't say, stop when you get full. She said, eat everything on that plate because the folks in Africa are starving. Oh no, because we done paid good money for that food. Don't waste nothing. Don't throw nothing away, right? And so now we've overwritten those hormones time and time and time again. So they're not even functioning anymore. Then you got the ventral, they call it the VTA, the ventral tegmental area, which is the part of the brain's reward system that releases dopamine, the hormone dopamine. And why does that matter? Because it, activated by high-calorie foods, makes you crave and repeat eating them even if you're not hungry. And they know this. It's intentional. It's intentional what they put in our foods today, especially the processed foods, to cause us to want it more and more and to not be full, so we got to have more. Have you noticed when you eat a whole food, a one-name food like apple, orange, pear, grape, you don't want a whole lot of it? But when you eat something out of a box, out of a can, out of a jar, you want all of it. You know, when you eat out of a package, top Roman noodles, you want all of the top Roman noodles, not just some of them, right? And then you have the nucleus accumbens. It processes the pleasure and reward. And it matters because it makes unhealthy food feel especially rewarding. And it reinforces habits like binge eating or emotional eating. Number 5, convenience and culture is a reason why we don't think before we eat. Convenience, it's in culture. Fast food, snacks, and media reinforce mindless eating habits. And we're encouraged, just as I said, to eat quickly. We're on the go, man. We got to just grab something. I don't have time. We don't have time to cook. We don't have time. Grandmama used to cook stuff all day long. We ain't got time for that because we've been to work. We're coming home. We just don't have the time. And it causes us to not allow space for mindful decisions. We're not even thinking about it. Why are we drinking the sodas? Because we see the commercial on television. They make it look good.
Kentucky Tuesdays are back.
Stop.
Get 6 pieces of chicken.
Stop it.
For only 80 Rand.
Stop it, I like it.
KFC. It's finger licking good.
I need to stop it now, right? Because some of you are looking at this saying, I need to go get some of this. That's what happens when we watch these commercials on TV.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Whoever made zero sugar Coke look so good?
Where's the beef?
The 80s were filled with unforgettable ads, and one of the most iconic campaigns was Wendy's commercial, Where's the Beef? The commercial starred Clara Peller, who delivered the unforgettable line.
Big bun. Big fluffy bun. It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Interestingly enough, the catchphrase almost didn't happen as the original line was too challenging for Peller due to her emphysema. However, Where's the Beef turned out to be the perfect choice and took the world by storm, booming a cultural touchstone. It also became a way to question the substance or validity of anything. It's an iconic piece of advertising history and showcases the power of a catchphrase.
Where's the beef?
What are some of your most memorable commercials as a kid in the 80s?
Have a good one.
Any idea who keeps doing that?
Nope.
Oh. Oil base with the all-weather enamel. Excellent choice. Let me cash your card.
That's a lot of black paint.
It's a pull, not a push. Take your time.
Who had the Doritos? Who had the Doritos? You want one? Sorry. Too bad you're down there and I'm up here. Smells so good.
So you got a kid and they see this, what do they want? Some Doritos, right? Because they put it in our face. Another reason we don't think before we eat is decision fatigue. By the time we make food choices, we've already made a whole lot of decisions throughout the day. The brain defaults to an easy, automatic option, often unhealthy ones when you're tired, when you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like doing all that cutting up everything you got to do to make healthy foods taste good, because I'm going to tell you, they taste great. But it takes some work to add the seasoning and to add the onions and all the things you got to chop up to saute in the pan. Yeah, that's what I do when I'm cooking. Saute a bunch of stuff so it makes it taste really, really good. But it's a little bit more work involved.
When it comes to junk food, we all have our guilty pleasures, be it chocolate, crisps, fizzy drinks, or fast food. Most of us will succumb to temptation occasionally to perk us up when we're feeling a bit low. But why does eating junk food make us feel good, and why is that a problem? Now, junk food is a food that is high in calories but low in nutritional value. It's typically packed full of sugar, which is a form of fast-releasing energy. Sugar spikes the release of dopamine, the hormone responsible for making us feel happy. Over the long term, Regular sugar consumption also increases the concentration of dopamine receptors, stimulating your brain's reward pathways for longer and extending that feeling of happiness. So sugar makes us happy by giving us an energy boost and by releasing a chemical that makes us feel good. But the high doesn't last very long. Sugar is used up quickly, so spikes are rapidly followed by dips, leading to low energy, bad mood and cravings, starting this whole cycle again. In the long term, this kind of eating pattern can be really damaging to your health. So if you're looking for an emotional boost, try doing some exercise, which releases the same feel-good chemicals without the damaging effects. Or eat foods that provide longer, sustained energy release to regulate your sugar levels and your corresponding mood. And finally, reach out to those you're closest to. Staying connected with people can help you feel grounded and often puts things in perspective.
I'm often asked why junk foods can light up our brains and spark cravings, and healthy foods sometimes seem not to taste as good. Well, there's a simple reason that junk food and fast food may taste better and spark cravings. It's because it's engineered that way. That's right, it's engineered that way. When you buy something from a fast food restaurant or the snack food aisle, or even anything that comes in a bag or a box, a lot of money has been spent on research and development. We call that R&D. The food manufacturers employ researchers, chemists, and engineers. And they do this because they want to develop processed foods or food-like substances that taste amazing. These experts know the precise combination of salt, sugar, and fat that will make something absolutely delicious and leave you wanting it again and again. In addition to salt, sugar, and fat, they often add artificial flavorings, such as MSG, to make that salt, sugar, and fat taste even better. And after they've created these foods, they spend even more money marketing them to you. They spend money on packaging and ads, and they even pay the grocery stores to put it in a prime location at the shelf so that you'll pick it up, put it in your cart, buy it, and take it home. Sometimes these products can even appear to be healthy. But make no mistake, if it comes from a bag or a box or a fast food restaurant, chances are that it's not high in quality and it's lacking in nutrients. It's always so much better just to stick to whole and minimally processed foods. If you find yourself struggling to fight these cravings for unhealthy foods and get started in eating cleaner, there are a few things you can do. Being mindful of what you are eating can go a long way. Sometimes we eat things based on habit or because we're bored, stressed, tired, or emotional. So check in with yourself before you grab something and ask yourself before you consume it if it's worthy and if you're actually even hungry. If you're ever unsure if something is healthy, just check the ingredients on the label. If there are a lot of ingredients listed that you don't recognize or can't pronounce, find another option. Try not to skip meals and make sure you're getting enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats to fill you up and satisfy you so that you're not tempted by the marketing by the food industry. Knowing that shelf placement is an advertisement can really make you think twice before you pick something up. And if you leave it on the shelf, you can't eat it, right? Instead, choose whole and less processed foods. Keep those in your home and your office, and keep them at eye level within easy reach. Think the same way the food companies do, but place only the healthiest choices in the most visible locations of your home and office. Make sure you get enough sleep, and I'm talking quantity and quality. So aim for 8 hours and get an Apple Watch or a Fitbit to check the quality of your sleep. Stay hydrated because we sometimes confuse thirst for hunger, and most people are not getting enough water anyway. Aim to drink 8 glasses of water throughout the day. And if that seems like a lot, start lower and work your way up to 8. For those times when you're really tempted and you can't seem to will that craving away, try drinking a full glass of water or a healthy choice like a banana, wait a few minutes, like 10, and see if you still want that other thing. And most importantly, if you slip up, don't feel guilty about it. Use any slip-ups as a learning opportunity so that you can understand your cravings better and make better choices in the future.
So what I love about that is it makes me recognize, and hopefully you recognize, that yes, years ago, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed to free the slaves, but we're still in slavery. Yes, we're not in control, and we got to get in control. We've got to become aware of what we're doing when we go to the grocery store, what we're doing when we take the fork and go to our mouth, even if you still do it, but just be aware of it. And if you've been that person that's not been thinking, which is most of us, we haven't been thinking about what we eat and we're doing too many unhealthy foods, balancing. If we put it on a balance scale, the unhealthy is weighing a whole lot more than the healthy, then guess what? We need to detox. We need to get those toxins out of our system that they have been trying to intentionally, but it's been our fault because we accept it, but it's been intentional. You didn't realize that when it's on the shelf and it's right in front of you, ever you go in the grocery store and you try to find something healthy and it's way in a little small section, they've only got one little section for that healthy particular thing, or you got to walk all over the store to find it. Yeah, that's intentional. That's intentional. It's where it's placed is intentional because they're spending billions of dollars. So we got to detox. We've got to detox our blood cells. We got to detox the toxins out. We suggest, hey, do a 4-day. Start there. We call it a bitters. It's bitter. Oh, yeah, it's bitter. But its purpose is to boost your digestion and regulate your appetite and support your liver detox and eliminate the fat-soluble toxins and alkalize the body and improve your gut. Because that's where our problem is. It's in our gut. Because when our gut is not working at its optimum performance, it causes our immune system to not work at its optimum performance. And then now, all the wrong kind of cells, the cancer cells, the high blood pressure, the diabetes takes place in our lives and in our bodies. And all of us know someone, or either we're that person that's dealing with it. So I challenge you, talk to the person that invited you to watch this, or maybe you just scan here, DM, and ask me about a 4-day detox. Just find out what you can do to better you. Because guess what? You've got things to do, places to go, and people to see. And you can't do it when you're hurting in your body. You can't do it when you're sluggish. You can't do it when every day you don't feel good. So it's an easy detox. Just boil water, drop a tea bag in there, and drink 8 ounces. I drink 8 ounces. We're trying to do it. We've got a group of people. We try to do it once a month. We don't do the 4 ounces twice a day because, like I said, it's nasty. We got to drink 8 ounces. Or you may be that person that say, I need to do a 7-day detox, a 7-day raw detox. That's really allowing the body to reset, because when you go raw for 7 days, you will never be the same. So see, it's not about suffering or being strict. It's a reset to break the cycle and start listening to your body again and again and build a new relationship with food. But more than anything else, start thinking before you eat. Listen, join us every week. Every week we're here sharing this information, hopefully giving you different topics. And if you've missed any of the previous topics, feel free to go back to our YouTube page and you can find us, and definitely take a look at all the previous other topics we talked about: high blood pressure and diabetes and cancer and why they don't want us healthy. So many different topics that we share with you every week at the same place at the same time. And listen, click subscribe and share this information with somebody else. Hey, have a great day, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Dr. Ross.
Hey, totally
Thank you,
awesome.
Dr. Ross.
Thank you. Yes. Magnificent.
Yay.
All right.